Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Filecoin. This is going to be a lower time frame video. We do have our higher time frame video up above, so check that out if you have not already. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so we're going to talk about the two ways we're discussing this in the higher time frame video, saying that effectively what we could have is that this move is either looking to trend where this becomes A, B, and C. At a minimum, we would be looking for this 257 as our one-to-one target. Now, we also need to be a bit cautious with this because it is possible, because we do not have all the price history, that we could also be within a structure like this, where this is A, this is B, and we're looking for a C wave to the downside. In which case, what we would be expecting then would be a break of this 20 to 28 level. And if we are looking at this current target, would be around here towards this 180 to this 108 as a typical fifth wave target. So because of this, we need to just be a little bit cautious. So we're going to go over the idea of the bullish count, and then we're going to go over this bearish count as well. Now, within the bullish count here, what we would be saying is that we actually have a low in place here. And what we are looking to do is move away from this area, from this 248. Now, we have come down quite deep here already, and if we zoom in a little bit closer here, we can see that we have come down towards this 786 to this 854 area here, and this is quite a deep retracement if it's going to be a 1 and a 2, so we need to just respect that. But we have had a bounce off this point. Now, we'd only get confirmation by pushing up towards this 2414 level, and then we'd be looking for confirmation of the 4th and the 5th from that point. So if we're going to come in here a little bit closer now and look at the lower time frame bullish idea here, what we would be looking for is effectively saying that this move here has found a low in this point. Now, within this idea, what we'd be saying then is that we have this is our A wave into this high, this is WX, and what we are looking for is a Y wave to the downside. So there are quite a few lines here. Let me explain these. Now, the WX and Y, the blue lines here, is in relation to this first leg of this wave here. We have already come down towards this 1382. If we do look to push down a little bit deeper, there is a lot of confluence between this 1618 level and this 0854, as well as the 0.618 level of this being an A, B, and a C to the downside. So if we do see price looking to push down a little bit lower here, this $3 region is going to be quite an interesting zone to keep an eye on. We do also have some lower levels here of this 282 and this 276. Now, for as long as we hold above this $2.72, we can look at the possibility that we could start to develop this move as 1, 2, and then looking for a wave 3, but we'd only get confirmation by pushing up past this $8.02. So until we actually see that, we need to be on the lookout just for this idea that we see a corrective move up. Now, if we do look to actually break this low and we push down towards this zone of this $2.72 to this $2.17, potentially we could still look for a corrective move where this becomes A, B, and then we still look at this as a C wave, looking at the move basically as a flat correction. But the likelihood is that if we lose this low here, that it is following the more bearish count, which we're going to go over in a second. Now, looking at the internals of this move, it is possible that this could have truncated into this point here of this $3.10. We need to keep an eye on this. It is also possible that this Y wave could even be over here, because we have come down deep enough to actually say this is completed. So if we do start to see price looking to push to the upside here, what we need to be cautious of is that we could actually have this as 1, 2 here, and then we're starting to form another 1, 2 here. So as long as we hold this zone here of this $3.07, we can potentially look to start forming a rally to the upside. Now, what I'd want to see for more confirmation is a move above this $4.04, and then we could be potentially looking at something like this, where we form this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'd be looking for this as an additional 4th and a 5th from that point. Now, if we do see a 5-wave move to the upside developing like this, what we have to be careful of is that this could just be a corrective move, like I said here, where this becomes A, B, and C, and then we could still look to break down from that point. If, however, we start to push up higher here and potentially we form something like this as 1, 2, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we form another 1, 2, something like this, then this would allow us to break out of this area and look to actually target this higher zone here. So until we actually see the continuation, confirm here, we need to just be a little bit careful, because the C wave could still be ongoing here I wouldn't want to see this get too deep though, because like I said, if we lose this 272, the likelihood is that we are following the bearish scenario here. Now, if we do form something like this, where this becomes 1, we fail to break back above these highs here, we need to be cautious of forming an impulsive structure here to the downside. And given our current structure, that would come by actually pushing down below this $2.63. The higher that we move up here, the higher this target becomes. But effectively, that's why I'm saying, you know, I would like to see this move, if it does continue down lower here, stopping before this 0.854. Otherwise, it starts to become probable that we are looking to trend to the downside. If we do continue to hold these lows, we can possibly look for this break to the upside, but we need to see whether this can hold structure. Now, within the bearish idea here, what we are talking about is actually looking for something like a diagonal pattern to the downside. Now, within this idea, what we'd be saying is that we have this as our wave 1, this is wave 2, and what we're looking for effectively is this wave 3 to play out. Now, invalidation of this comes by crossing this $2.06 or by moving back above the high here of this $9.42. Now, in this idea here, it is also possible that we could have this as A, we get A, B, and C, push up one more time here, and then look to push down without actually just breaking down directly. But within this idea here, it is also possible that this B wave could be complete, because it did move up pretty much to this 50% level, and we could actually be within the C wave to the downside. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. There are some interesting areas lower down here. We have this 0.854 level, which would actually be coming back over here. Ideally, we want to see this wave 1 get swept at this 248 though. If we do see this price look to push down a little bit deeper, what I would be keeping an eye on is this 0.618 zone that we've got here at this $2.29. That could be quite an interesting level to keep an eye on, because this would be the minimum requirement as an ABC. Really, once we cross the A wave, there is always possibility of truncation, but what I'd like to see more is actually seeing this sweep this wave 1 and then look to push down into this level. If we do start to follow that bullish idea here, where we can see this as A, B, and C, we need to be careful that unless we actually hit this 1.618 here at this 802, that this move could just be a corrective structure to the upside, where we could look to actually target up some of these higher zones here between this 50% and the 786 before looking for that C wave to the downside at a later date. Now, coming in here and looking at this idea of actually seeing a direct breakdown from this current area, what I would be saying here is that internally we could be looking for an extension within this. Now, if we are looking to extend, what we'd be saying is that internally here, what we have is this is 1, 2, this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and now as long as we remain below this zone of this 358, we can look for this possibly to continue to the downside here in this yellow fifth wave, which the common target here is 296 to this 278 region. However, what we need to be mindful of here is that if this is a 5-wave structure and this is only wave 1 and we get 2, 3, 4, 5, this could actually push this white third wave even deeper and actually look to push this 5th wave target box deeper as well. So we need to just be on the lookout for that. It is always possible here that we could actually even get a truncation. So if we do see price look to form something like this, where this is our 5th wave, and then we see another 3-wave move to the upside here, looking to stay in the realm of this previous 4th wave, we could actually see price be within this white 4th wave already, and we've had a truncation in the 5th. We need to look out for these things, but they are not that common. So the fact that we haven't pushed down into the zone is potentially more likely to actually say that we're going to get extension. Now, if we're looking at extension within this wave, this is what we need to be careful of. Until we actually break back above this $3.57, we could be looking for continuation down, where this becomes 1. We're looking for a wave 2, looking to push up between this 347 to this 333 level, but we have come up quite close here already. So if this starts to roll from here, the idea would remain the same. Given our current structure, our 1.618 is here at this 263, which is what we'd want to hit with this wave 3. If we are looking at a move higher up here first, this golden pocket area here towards this 339 to this 340 would be quite an interesting zone in my opinion, in which case that would then push our target here to this 270 for this wave 3. Then we'd be looking for this as 1, 2. We'd look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here in this wave 3. We'd look for 3 waves back to the upside in a wave 4, and then see that continuation down, which could then mean that we see 264 to this 256 level as a potential target here. And what this would do then is effectively push the white wave 3 down into this lower area here, and it would make this blue 5th wave actually push down beyond the yellow target box. So need to keep an eye on this. There is a possibility of that bullish move here. Like I said, we could still see this look to rally to the upside, but really we need to hold this 297 level. If we do complete where we currently are here, I'd like to see at least a move up towards this 404 to give us a bit more confidence that we could be looking at this as a breakout. And then from there, we're going to have to see what happens. If we get a 5-wave move to the upside, 3 waves down, potentially we look for that continuation up. If failure to develop that could actually put us in a more bearish situation where we are looking for that continuation to the downside. Having a look at the daily CPR lines, what we can see is that we are currently under our central line, which is indicating volatility today. We do have the potential to find support lower down here at this 318. If we lose that level, other targets for today would be this 312. We have this 306 and this $3 as potential downside targets for today. If we do see price looking to push back up here, we could find resistance at this 324 level. If, however, we see price manage to get back above this, what we could see is a move up towards some of these higher zones. 330, 336, 341 and 347 are all targets to the upside today if we manage to flip this central CPR line into support. Now moving over here and having a look at the weekly CPR lines, what we can see is that we've got a slightly lower printed CPR. The lines are also very wide, which is indicating that we have a slightly bearish bias here, but also that we are going to potentially see some ranging playing out. Now, if we do look to push up here, I'm going to be keeping an eye on some of these areas again. We did move into the central line and we've rejected. If we look to push back down here, targets to the downside would be 299. Once again, that $3 come up, 282 and this 252 as potential downside targets. Now, if we do look to find support here, look to bounce back up, turn these into support, we could find resistance higher up here at the 334. We have other targets for this week above this at 345. 374 and this area up here of this 391. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on these levels to see how we interact with them. If we do start to see these central lines getting reclaimed here, then potentially we can look for that bullish possibility to the upside. Now moving over here and having a look at the monthly, what we can see is that we are currently underneath our monthly CPR lines. We actually haven't had an interaction with this, so this is what's making me think we could actually see price be gravitated towards this, because this actually acts like a magnet most of the times when we don't have an interaction. Price is drawn towards these levels. So we have 338, 354 and this 372. If we do see price do something like this as A, B and C, this could align with coming back and testing the top line here. If we do look to reject down and we fail to actually push up into these CPRs, we could see price first look to move down towards this 273. Losing that level, we have this 225 and this 145 as potential downside targets for this month. Now, if we do see price looking to push back to the upside here and we look to reclaim these central lines, what we could then see is a possibility to interact with this 402, 485 and this 531 as potential upside targets for this month. So I'm going to keep an eye on them to see how we react here. If we do move back into these lines, we could find resistance, but if we do look to find support above these central lines, this could indicate that we could start to see that breakout that we are looking for. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Everyone have a great day. We will see you in the next one. Take care.